AV, welcome back to Arts and Crafts. By now, you probably already know I'm Justina, the Arts and Crafts coordinator this year. Sadly to say, this will be our last video together. I've enjoyed doing virtual camp so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. For our last craft together, we will be doing some simplistic iconography. The supplies for today's craft are super simple. All you're going to need is a piece of paper to draw your icon on, a pencil, a ruler, and a medium to color in whatever you create. I'm going to be using crazy art color pencils. You could use anything from markers to paint to leaving it just pencil. So in order to get started, what you're going to do is break your paper into 4 even sections and 3 even sections. Once you've marked each 1/4 of your paper, make a very soft line across your paper. So this is my super light 4 sections. You don't want to go too dark because later you're going to want to erase these lines. Now I'm going to section my paper into 3 even sections. For my 3 even sections, I'm going to make a soft dotted line across my paper. That way you don't confuse your 4 even sections with your 3 even sections. Again, you don't want to draw too hard because you're going to want to erase these lines later. So your paper should look something like this. So every 1/4 of the way down your paper, you have a solid line, and every 1/3 of a way down your paper, you have a dotted line. After you've separated your paper into 4 even parts and 3 even parts, what you're going to do is draw a circle that touches the top of your paper and goes all the way down to your first dotted line. So it should take up a 1/3 of your paper. So that's how long you want it to be. As for the width of your circle, you just want to leave 3 fingers worth of space on each side. A good way to draw your circle is to draw the sides of it, draw the top of it, draw the bottom of it, and then connect it all. Your circle won't be perfect, but you will get the general shape down. If it's coming out too ovally for you, you could always go slightly more down from your dotted line to make it more of a circular shape. Now, once you have that general shape, what you're going to do is draw an egg-looking shape that connects to the bottom right side of your circle. As you're coming out this way, the furthest point you make should be a little bit before where your circle ends. And the rounder part of your egg shape should touch the bottom of your page. And the pointy part of your egg shape should come just above your first dotted line. These are the 2 shapes that you should have drawn on your paper. Now you're going to go 3/4 of the way down your paper. So not your first solid line, not your second, but between your second and 3rd solid line. And you're going to create a circle that is halfway outside of your egg and halfway inside of your egg, but only between your 2 solid lines. Now what you're going to do is make sure this section of your egg meets the center of your circle. So if this is the center of my circle, my egg doesn't meet there, and what I'm going to do is just redraw it to meet that point and erase whatever I have previously drawn. You're going to do the same thing with this top right side of your egg. You're going to meet your bigger circle and erase whatever line was previously drawn horizontally. Once you've done that, a diagonal line. Once you've done that, what you're going to do is go to the right side of your smaller circle and go about 2 centimeters out from it. You're going to take the mark that you made 2 centimeters out and bring it all the way down to the center of the round part of your egg. Then you're going to bring the rest of it up to the left side of your big circle, and you're going to create a moon-looking shape. That should just touch the right side of your circle. Come through it on this side, only to your last solid line. And then from there, once you've done that, you're going to go to the center of the bottom of your egg. You could do this by going from the furthest points of your egg and meet your fingers in the middle and just drag them straight down. So the center of my egg is right about here. What you're going to do from there is draw the back of a C-like shape. So not as curved as a C, but just the back side of it, and you're going to meet the point you've drawn up here at your 4th solid line. Then you're going to erase the end of your moon shape and create a point on the back of your C shape by bringing the top of it down. And you're going to draw this shape about 1 inch away from where the back line landed. So this is what you should have so far. Your next step is going to be drawing another moon-like shape where this line becomes the front of your moon. Now what you're going to do is draw almost like a peanut shape to the left of this moon shape and in between your circle. You could start it about 1/3 of the way down from your circle. So this here is your peanut-like shape. That gets a little bit cut off by this moon-looking shape. Then what you're going to do is draw a teardrop-looking shape from your first solid line. That'll be the point. Using this part of your moon shape and coming out to draw a teardrop-looking shape. Next, you're going to use this part of your peanut shape and create a semicircle that comes out and ends where your first solid line is and where your circle meets your egg. So this is your semicircle right here. You could then erase the top of your moon shape and connect it a little bit earlier. From here, you're going to make a second moon shape that comes out this way and comes down here. To meet your first moon shape. Then you're going to take the top of your semicircle and begin one more moonish looking shape until you meet the furthest point of the last moon you made. Now you can erase the rest of this semicircle and the outer part of your egg. You will leave the bottom of it, leaving just a semicircle that meets your third solid line. So right here is what you're going to leave. The rest you can erase. You're going to come to where these two moon shapes meet and create a straight line down to your second solid line. From there, you're going to create a rectangular shape that curves a little bit. Just like this. You could get a little bit thicker as you go down. And so you have a straight side here, and these two lines. Lastly, you're going to continue this line down all the way until you meet the outer right edge of your original egg shape. And you could just erase whatever excess lines you have. What you have should look something like this. Then you're going to imitate the shape you have down here one more time to the left of it, but just thinner than what you have already drawn. So just one more of these shapes, just slightly thinner. Then what you're going to draw is a bean shape right above your second dotted line. And your bean shape is going to look something like this. So the first side of your bean will be centered on this line that comes down this way. And it'll indent and come out this way. And your bean shape should look something like that. Next, what you're going to do is duplicate this shape one more time, almost as thick as your first one. It should look very similar to a triangle, but with curved lines. Then what you're going to do is create a teardrop shape, and the round part of your teardrop should interfere with the round part of the bottom of your bean shape. It should look like two opposite facing C's. Then you're going to come around and meet where these 3 points meet. And then you're going to bring this side around and bring it to where this vertical line and your small circle meet. You're going to go right through that intersection and all the way this way. You're not going to meet the tip of your teardrop. It'll just meet where this horizontal line is. Then you can erase this part of your original smaller circle and the vertical line going upwards through your U and bean shape. But don't erase the vertical line that meets the top of your smaller circle. And you could even erase the bottom of your bean shape that's interrupted by your upside down U. And you should have something that looks like this. The next thing you're going to do is make a very wide W shape. So you're going to come out this way, make one hook, then make your second hook. It'll look something like that. Then you're going to follow this line and create a V-looking shape by making a diagonal line upwards. What you should see at this point is the Virgin Mary. So your circles are your halos, and these are her garments that she's wearing as she holds him tightly towards her chest. In order to make her head a better shape, what we're going to do is make a horizontal line this way and have it so that your second middle moon shape meets your horizontal line and comes down this way, and then you could erase what you had previously drawn. That way, her head is a more normal looking shape. And you could even do that with this moon shape, end it a bit earlier, and come around this way. That way, you could erase what you previously had drawn so that her head has a more normal shape. Your last moon shape should meet where all your other points do, and it should all flow more nicely together. Now what you can do is go in and erase all your measured lines. So your 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4 line, your 1/3 and 2/3 line. Once those lines are erased, what you're gonna do is create a small, simple nose on the Virgin Mary. And then, as your last step, you're going to draw her hand. So this will be the end of her arm as it comes up around him. You're going to interrupt this upside down U where your U shape meets your circle and create her thumb coming in. So what you're going to do is another upside down U shape and then hook it around and dip lower and come up. Then you're going to extend her hand and make a finger touching the beginning of his halo. Come down around and connect it to her thumb and just erase the lines you have in between that. So it should look something like that. If you want to create the illusion of another finger, you can do so. Now you could erase the rest of the lines that you have interrupting her garments. And then you can go and just fix up all your lines. So if you have really fuzzy parts where they're too thick or where you've made multiple lines, just erase and make sure that you have a nice one solid line. Something that really helps me at this point is to outline what I have in Sharpie. That way my lines are clean and I know what to color where. So if you have a thin Sharpie, that's ideal. If you have a thick one, that's still okay. Just be very careful and trace the lines that you have drawn in Sharpie. Once it's outlined, it should look something like this, and then you could go in one more time and just erase the excess pencil lines that you have and clean it up one last time. You should now have something that looks like this. Once you're ready to color it in, you can go ahead and do so. Once I'm done coloring, I'll show you what I chose for each section. Sometimes a good idea is to take the color you're going to make a certain section and just mark it off with that color before you color it in. So my biggest moon, I'm going to do light blue. My outermost moon, I'm going to do a light gray. And my innermost moon will be gray as well. So your final product should look something like this. As you could see during the time lapse, I created a background that's geometrical. You guys could do whatever you'd like for your background, whatever you feel like fits your picture best. Thank you guys for joining me for this craft. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Remember to take pictures of your Simplistic icon and send them in to james@avcamp.org. I can't wait to see what you guys have completed. I am so sad to say goodbye to 2020 Arts and Crafts, but I'm so happy we got to unite virtually and continue to do arts and crafts together. I loved seeing everything you guys completed. Thank you for watching me and joining me in my craft making, and God willing, I'll see you guys next year.